Action.
First name is Myric, last name is Harris. I'm the owner of T.E.N Media Productions. I'm a producer and a director of cinematic, reality, and scripted film. Basically, I was doing a Facebook Live show with my iPhone, and the show went from no views to 180,000 views a month. And after that, I started to do a bigger podcast, and it just kind of took off from there and just grew. I was interviewed on a radio talk show, and the overwhelming response about business and my business ventures felt good to talk about myself. For the first time, I'd never talked about myself. It was always about other people and what they've done. So when I talked about myself, I'm like, I can do this. This feels pretty good. Every year we produce a show called the Grand Rapids Symphony Celebration of Soul. That's one of the biggest projects we've produced to date. For me, as a producer, it's kind of unorthodox. I do a lot of different things. I have had to learn to run and program DMX lights. I've had to learn to run sound systems. I've had to learn simple things like packing up cameras, So as a producer / business owner, I've had to learn to do every role within a production company, because how can I lead other people under me to do these roles if I have not done them myself and experience the toughness that they take to get them done. I think for me, the thing about, I fallen in love with being a producer, correct? I like to see the end product. I like to see the end result of what I've done. When you have a vision in your mind and then you put it on paper, even if you draw it out, we recently did a fashion show, recently produced a fashion show. So I had to get the entire layout mentally to know what to do physically on set. It's just the gratification of sitting back, looking at your final product. As a producer, everybody that produces shows, whether it's Broadway shows, whether it's a major concert, could you imagine the feeling that producer has when he's watching Kanye West on stage and he's seeing his vision for the lights and the sound and the cinematics and the smoking actors come to life? He's like, wow, I did that. I love it. The biggest thing I would say is learn your craft, but not only your craft, learn everybody's craft. Because as a producer, you're a leader, right? You're producing a subject. You're producing something that the world have to see. And how can you lead the gaffers? How can you lead the grips? How can you lead, anybody if you haven't experienced that job to know what it takes to get that job done? So I would just say learn your job, but also learn as much as you can, as much as possible. Honestly, having interns work for me. I started this company with 4 interns from Compass School of Cinematic Arts. And they taught me things I didn't know, and I taught them things they didn't know. And I think the biggest thing for me is just, I had to learn a lot because I didn't know a lot. And having students work for me, I had to make sure I was a good leader. I have to be a good example and a good steward of knowledge, I expected them to know things that I had to know prior to expecting them to know it. So I think that's what got me to where I am now. So the concert that we live streamed was for a Houston artist that came to Grand Rapids, and it was a 2-part series. So the first part was a TED Talk. The second part was a rap concert. The unique thing about that situation is we learned a lot, because what a lot of people don't realize, when you're producing productions that are going live stream, what happens is you have to have the appropriate Wi-Fi. And when we produced both parts of those, the producer at the venue did not ensure we had the proper Wi-Fi. So those are some of the challenges that we faced, but overall the production was great.